Renee, tell us about the impact the Oxford shooting had on your son and on you as a mother.
Thanks. Thank you for having us. The impact has been tremendous. I heard a Michigan State professor on your program recently who talked about you never think it's going to happen to you until it happens to you. Keegan is, I was teaching down the street from him that day on November 30th. While I was teaching seventh graders, I got text messages from him talking about being in lockdown and hearing shooting outside his classroom door. There was a few minutes of me sending panicked texts to him. I think I sent 5 texts pleading with him to respond, to let me know he was okay. I was fortunate. I got a response from him. There are families that don't get that response from their kids. It's devastating to me that more Americans are not standing up and using their voices on behalf of those kids that haven't made it, and those kids that were injured, and those kids that were traumatized. And I'd like to think we're at a tipping point. I just don't know.
I just don't know feels like an honest answer in this moment. Olivia, talk to me about how it's impacted you.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a very special and unique experience to get to teach alongside my mom, and it just ended in horror. In September, I taught 6th graders how to prepare for an active shooter lockdown, and just a few weeks later, we did it for the real time because of the massacre going on down the street where my brother was a student. I was delivering 11, 12-year-olds back to their parents that day after a 3-hour-long reunification process. And I just couldn't help but feel that I was delivering these kids back to their parents in a world that was far more evil than when they had walked into school that Tuesday morning.
Right. It's hard to account for the extent to which these things fundamentally change people regardless of the outcome. Renee, I'm thinking about the fact that your son has endured that, you have endured that, and now your son watches the same thing happen on the very campus he plans to be on next year. How is he coping with that as a student? And for you, how are you coping with that as a mom?
It's a balancing act, something that I never thought I'd have to prepare myself for. I'm the mom that read the parenting books about, how they sleep the best and what they should eat. And there really is nothing to prepare you for how do you bring your child through a school shooting or a shooting anywhere for that matter. Keegan, I'm biased. Keegan is an amazing kid. His friends and his classmates are amazing kids. They are Oxford strong in that they are continuing to get good grades and play sports. They're continuing to honor the friends and classmates that they lost, but they know the score. They know that the adults, the people in power, have let them down in pretty massive ways.
Well, Renee, I want you to stay on that point because Democratic lawmakers in Michigan have introduced 11 bills since the shooting at Michigan State University, and they include things like requiring universal background checks, creating secure storage mandates, establishing red flag laws. I want to know, as someone who is well-informed, who's watching this, do you think that these bills go far enough? What is it you want to see included?
I think these bills would be an amazing start. This is another wake-up call for Michigan. We can't ignore this wake-up call. It's devastating and surreal to me that there's Michigan State students from Oxford who have gone through their second shooting in 14 months. So this is our second wake-up call. These are common sense and simple and moderate gun reform bills. I would like to see Michiganders, on behalf of kids everywhere, stand up, use their voice, call your legislator, email them, show up at the hearings they will have next week. I know the kids are watching us, and right now I don't know how they haven't lost trust in us. We need to show them that we can manage this crisis.